whose bright stripes and bright.
I'm Dr. Janice Milo, and I'm a member of PALMS. PALMS is a newly organized group that the mayor of Port Arthur felt would be good for us to organize and come together. PALMS are the acronyms for Port Arthur Linking Military Sisters. We are downtown Port Arthur at the Pavilion located at 522 Proctor Street. And today we are celebrating Women Veterans Day. And it is so important because women have served in the military. Now, we are not acknowledging that our men are not important or are negating that, but what we are saying is that women have served, they have served well in the military. Today is the 75th anniversary of the Women's Services Integration Act that was signed into law in 1948, actually to be specific, on June the 12th, 1948, by President Truman. And that officially gave women the opportunity to serve in the United States Armed Forces. So today we are here to recognize all females who have served in the United States Armed Forces, and we thank everyone who's out here to support us.
It looks good, guys. Here we go. Eyes open, everybody here.
So we have to, some of the kids gonna play that. No sound. So what can we go to?
And look, I'm passing it on to him. This is his fifth day. Okay, is everybody ready? Yeah, I got some film. We're gonna go right here.
Good morning. At this time, will you please rise for the posting of the colors by the Port Arthur Fire Department Honor Guard?
Whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Pledge of allegiance to the United States and to the state of Texas. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the city of Port Arthur, Texas. So give yourselves a hand, because right now you're making history. And for all of those who are here, and we probably have another point in the program where we will recognize them, but we have our sponsors who I think are dignitaries. Okay? And we have Port Arthur LNG, Sempra, all the team members Kelly, you and your team, would you all stand, please? Thank you all. Also, we have the Port Arthur Education Foundation, Joe, and their representative, and they're going to be asking questions. But we thank you and your group for all that you've done. We also have our city manager, Mr. Ron Burton, and our administrative staff, his two assistant city managers, Dr. Thigpen and Ms. Blanksford, she's back there, and the staff of our Parks and Recreation, staff of my office, Ms. Christy Ned, and park staff in City Hall who helped to make this happen. So would you give them a hand, please, for doing all that they've done.
Time, we're going to have a history of the 688, the 6,888th Battalion, and the history of Palms that will be presented by Ms. Stacy Hunter.
I pause to depict homage to the supreme creator of all mankind, to his son, the King of Kings, to the Honorable Mayor Thurman Bill Marty, of city officials, and to the illustrious guest speaker, Miss Belinda Richard, United States Navy veteran, to our retinue of supporters, as well as visitors. I simply say to each of you, good morning. It is my delight and privilege to render the history of the 688 Central Postal Battalion and the history of Palms, the acronym for Port Arthur Linking Military Sisters. No male, low morale, or so the motto goes. Even before the founding of the 688 Central Postal Battalion, the mail was piling up for the soldiers serving under World War II. The ever-changing locations, duty stations, and movements caused a logistical challenge for getting the mail delivered on time. The Women's Army Corps, also known as WAC, was signed into law by President Franklin D. Roosevelt and set to active duty status on July 1st, the year 1943. Further, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt and Dr. Mary Millard Bethune, who was a civil rights leader, advocated for the inclusion of African American women in WAC. It would take even further efforts to push this overseas and then to support this grand effort. The 688 Battalion also were called 688. They were not only the all-American battalion in the WAC, they were African, and they were sent to World War II to service the troops. Major Charity Edna Adams commanded the battalion, and over 800 volunteers joined the 688 Central Postal Battalion throughout the war. The battalion was organized into 5 companies. Headquarters, Company A, Company B, Company C, and Company D. Most of the 688, worked as postal clerks, but others were cooks, mechanics, medics, and would you believe, administrative personnel. The unit was self-sufficient. After their training in Georgia, the 6888 arrived in Birmingham, England via train. The overflowing warehouses were stacked with letters and packages for anxious soldiers awaiting the delivery. 3 separate 8-hour shifts, 7 days a week would be required to get this mission accomplished. Their motto, no mail, low morale. Their task was that all mail could be delivered. And, ladies and gentlemen, it was. At the end of World War II, the 6888 members were reduced roughly to 300. Then in February of 1946, the 6888 Central Battalion, returned to the greater United States and was disbanded that year. Members of the 6888 Central Postal Directory Battalion were awarded the European African Middle Eastern Campaign Medal, the Good Conduct Medal, and the World War II Victory Medal during their service. Mary Ragland and Alice Dixon were 2 remaining members of the 6888 Battalion. They were honored by President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama in 2009. On November 30th, 2018, a monument in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas was placed in the Buffalo Soldier Military Park in their honor. On this date, June 12th, 2023, Women Veterans Day, it is so befitting that we acknowledge and inform the masses about the 6888 Battalion for their courageous and methodical effort as women who proved that things could be accomplished if they were given the chance. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the 6888 Battalion. Our mayor briefly covered what I had written. He is so efficient and thorough. I'm going to try to walk in his footsteps. Please bear with my task. Our Honorable Mayor Thurman Bill Barty, City of Port Arthur, Texas, while on business in Washington, D.C. this year, extended his arm out to prestigious persons through verbal communication. He needed an aid with information relevant to the Women's Armed Services Integration Act, whereas he desired to recognize and bring informative services to both female and male veterans of the Port Arthur area. Mayor Barty's inquisitiveness and persistence gained immediate response from high-ranking female representatives for Veterans Affairs. Arrangements were made to conduct a conference call, whereas the mayor and officials with veteran females of this great city took place upon his arrival. After being contacted, female veterans attended a meeting on Monday, May 15, 2023, at 1300 hours, 1 o'clock, on the 4th floor in the conference room of the city hall. Plans for celebrating this day were in process. Those present for that meeting were City Manager Burton, Assistant City Manager Dick Penn, from her office and on standby for conference call was Assistant Manager Pamela Lansford, Mayor Barty's Secretary, Ms. Christy Ned. The veterans of 4 in number were present, namely Dr. Alma Juno, Mrs. Stacy Landrio, Dr. Janice Malo, and Dr. Rosalind Quinn. On the telephone from Michigan was the Veterans Affairs Liaison, Ms. O'Shea, who is a United States Marine Corps veteran. Discussion and ideas for the celebration for this occasion were covered. Also, during that conference, information regarding Integration Act, signed by President Harry S. Truman on June 12, 1948, was introduced. The Women Armed Services Integration Act allowed women to serve as permanent members of the military, principally the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Air Force. With this knowledge at our discretion, the conference call was ended, but the meeting continued. Mayor Barty expressed his sentiments that it was needful to establish a proclamation for the purpose of honoring female veterans of all nationalities for their service to country who are residents of Port Arthur, Texas. During the session, yours truly, Veteran Landfill, added information consistent with research on the Women's Armed Services Integration Act of 1948 and the law pertaining to it. Whereas it was revealed that Governor Greg Abbott had signed the Women's Armed Forces Act into law for the great state of Texas on June 17, 2017. This was to be adhered to, and thus today is in effect. Finally, while we were in meeting, Veteran Juno expressed a concern to our great mayor. A name should be given to the women. Our mayor had been referring to the group in attendance as the core group. Veteran Landrieu was delegated that task. Before the end of the meeting concluded, a name was given. It was placed on the round table for consideration. Thusly, the name PALMS, P-A-L-M-S, acronym for Port Arthur Linking Military Sisters. It was unanimously received. Our mayor was proud, more so that it had the city's name attached. Finally, the Palms, or I should say Palms, have 6 members attached. They are Ms. Sidonia Deans, United States National Guard, Dr. Alan Juno, United States Army, Mrs. Stacy Landrieu, the United States Navy, Dr. Janice Malo, United States Army, Dr. Rosalind Queen, United States Army, Dr. Michelle Snodgrass, United States Army. The Palms were researched to find out what it meant. Palms is symbolic of strong women, a tree that bends but cannot be broken, a tree that stands upright, bearing honor and strength. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the group Palms. Please receive us as we extend our palms in service.
I would like to first recognize Ms. Lori Kaufman. She's in the back. Would you please stand? Ms. Lori Kaufman, who's here from Houston and Jennifer Rotary. Would you please stand? They are both representing the Army. And our keynote speaker for today, Ms. Bettina Hadnock. Would you please stand? Ms. Hadnock is a representative of the National Association of Black Military Women, the Houston chapter. So she's here to celebrate us today. Ms. Janetta Andrepont, would you please stand? She is the president of BOOTS, acronym for Bringing Out Our Troop Sisters, Beaumont, Texas. Thank you for being here. And for every one of my military sisters who are here today, please stand. New here today, we thank all of you for your service, and we thank you for being here with us today for this celebration. And we embrace each and every one of you in Palms. So please, before you leave here today, we want to speak with you and we want to get your information so that you can become a member of Palms. And Miss Andrepont, Boots, we will be fellowshipping with you guys, so we are excited that you are here. Ms. Hadnock, we're going to make sure each and every one of our military sisters sign up for the national organization. So please give yourselves a hand. Again, thank you for being here with us.
In the military, in our homes, in our schools, in our doctor offices, in our police stations, in our fire departments, in our education system, in the VA, in the military. Let's talk about the 68888. Without them, we may or may not have been here. Let's talk about the significance of what one woman can do. We're talking about, pick somebody, right? Whoever you think of that comes to your mind as a woman who has made an influential impact on your life, that woman has made an impact and continues to make an impact. Think about your mother. Without her, she's made an impact on your life, who influenced your life. There's an impact. Let's think about you. You have made an impact, and you will continue making an impact. Don't silence your voices. Your voices are meant to be heard, because otherwise, God would have given you a tongue and a voice to voice, right? We represent the greater world of women veterans. Palms. I remember that first meeting that we had, and I gave you the little exercise of putting your hand out, right? Looking at your hand. What do you see? Your palm. And then you reached out to your sister next to you and you touched palms. Do you remember why I asked you to do that? Because when we touch palms, we strengthen each other. We can't be broken when we are together. That is what we do. We uplift and we support each other. Keep supporting each other. Keep living, keep fighting, keep dreaming, keep surviving. But go past surviving, keep living and excelling. I appreciate you, I thank you, and I love you all. Thank you. Important. You are loved, wanted, and needed. Your job here has only just begun and will continue long after you are gone. Keep working, keep fighting, keep pressing on. We will not be silenced.
To begin a process in Port Arthur honoring women veterans. We appreciate you all and we honor you all. Now, Doc, you have the proclamations. I see we have Miss Catherine's Pookie Salad were here. They were present with the core group, with the core Palm Sisters, if you will, on Tuesday last week. And we presented each of them with a copy of the proclamation, and we did promise those ladies that they would get a copy as well, because they were at the original reading. But these are the ladies, and to my other Port Arthur ladies, would you all stand? The other veteran ladies. I just drafted you all. You know, one thing about military people, you follow honors well. That's why I never win. So now, this is the current Port Arthur Palm group. And you go down and take a picture with them, because now you're going to help financing. And Kelly, you come up, because you and your organization took care of financing this time. And we welcome you all and ask you all to participate again on next year. So come on, you all come on. And where is Joe? Because you all are playing a part every year in making sure everything works. And this is the core group now that will be sure that this celebration is held even longer than I will remain mayor. Okay? And that's what's important to me, is to begin doing things that actually brings on a legacy, or you know where it began, or it and everyone else will know the beginning.
Than Palms. This is about every military person in the city of Port Arthur and surrounding areas. We won't reject anyone, but for all veterans here in the city of Port Arthur. Because women, you know, when we come together, we take care of everybody. Amen. So again, thank you for honoring us. Thank you for taking the time to put this celebration together. It was done in excellence, and we appreciate it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Yeah.